Hello, everybody listening to the Further Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I am joined with A-Rod, Mr. Alex Rodriguez. We are back. We be giving y'all we give y'all a little bit of time to kind of just absorb what we say. We give y'all a couple of weeks to kind of absorb all of it. So we're back a couple of weeks later, and there's a lot of crap that has happened in the last couple of weeks.
Crap.
Uh, Life and sports and everything in between. So, Era, how's everything on your end?
Life is good.
I thought you were about to start rapping, future.
You know what I mean?
Let's
It's cool. Got red bottoms on.
uh, Speaking of future, I don't know why. That made me think about Kanye West for whatever reason. That man's been on a I don't know.
I
I
have
don't
been
know.
I have been on an ignore Kanye West for the past 2.5 years, and it has been
2.5.
2.5 years now.
That's impressive. I
That is
I
very
feel like
impressive.
I feel like he tries to I try to all right, let me just check the temperature, and then
You
I
can't.
see, and I'm
You
like, oh no,
can't.
here we go.
You can't. There's no temperature check, bro. One moment, like if you get absorbed into it, you get bamboozled. Because then the next thing he's in a Nazi hat. The next thing he's dissing everybody that has helped him throughout his career. And it's just like I can't come to his defense anymore. It's just where we leave it at.
Oh, there's no defending, but I just still want to you want to see like the rubberneck effect when you see a car accident. You just kind of want to see what the hell's going on.
I'm not that guy. I
And,
can't, bro. He's just like it sucks 'cause that's like my favorite. I think he's a genius. I really do. I think like he's the Michael Jackson of our generation as far as musical ear. But when it comes to when he decides to open his mouth, I just can't defend it. I can't be there anymore.
yeah,
I'm
it,
not
it
that
really
guy.
it really is sad because you try to separate the music from the artist sometimes. I mean, the art from the, you know what I'm trying to say. And there's certain R.
Like
Kelly's,
Kelly from the music.
there's certain songs R. Kelly makes, and I'm like, when I hear "Wonderful" with him and Ashanti and Ja Rule, I'm like, damn, bro, I'm sorry. I close the door. I'm like, I gotta listen to this song. It's
Yeah.
like you gotta the music is still the music. If I hear it's amazing, or if I hear anything from graduation or anything from college dropout, or you know what I mean?
Anything after the life of Pablo, I'm like kind of cringeworthy to listen after
There's
that.
nothing after the life of Pablo for me. But if I hear 30 hours, I'm gonna rock. I'm about to drive 90 miles like Matt Barnes. You know what I mean? If I hear it, I'm gonna play it. You know
it's,
what I mean?
it's tough, man. I hate having to play that, but I mean, it's just that's what we are in life, man. That's what we are with that. So
If I hear all about the Benjamins, am I supposed to just not listen to Diddy? I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do?
it is what it is, man. Like it's our childhood is literally ruined. Our young adolescence phase is literally ruined by people, and
But
it's their own doings.
I just saw a picture of Amanda Bynes today. Bruh, she looked rough, dog.
Woof.
And
You
she
saw
said
it today? I saw it 2 years ago,
she
bro.
started. She said she's doing an OnlyFans, but she's not gonna show anything. I'm like,
She's gonna
why
do
are
it
you
with
even
fans, just
talking
no
right now?
fans, just no fans.
You need help. Go get some help. I remember my sister's like, oh, these what she used to say something about eggs, I like eggs or some shit like that. We used to laugh about that shit. Now it's like I can't even laugh about the Amanda Mine show. Britney Spears lost her mind. Everybody's just
It hurts.
anyway. Let's get to some sports where there's still other crazy, wacky, funny things going on in the sports world. So I'll let you kind of take it away. Obviously, there's been a lot in the last couple of weeks. Anything from a crazy, wacky, funny standpoint for you?
For me, it might be just from the day watching Real Madrid get their ass kicked in the day and Declan Rice owning our ass, winning the Man of the Match award. Um, yeah, man, we won Champions League last year and we went and got the best player in soccer, some will say, and just kind of laid down to Arsenal, who's always the butt of Premier League jokes because they never win shit. But Champions League, they gave us our own. So um, I don't know. I was literally a happy hour with my girl, and I was just like, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense that we go out this easy." And then Mbappe to walk off at the end. I know he probably is hurt, but we'll see. But I mean, there's probably better wacky, crazy shit. You probably got better for me, but that's all that just sticks in my head now within the last few hours because it's whatever. I
It's
get to look at
fresh. It's fresh for
Barcelona.
you.
I get to look.
It's an open wound.
I hate seeing Barcelona do better. I can't stand it. I don't like Barcelona. So
And speaking of Arsenal, you know, I consider myself, loyal to my sports teams. But as I've gotten older, I realize the teams that I grew up loving, if they've hurt me for too long, I don't care. So like me and the Sixers, we're on the outs right now, right?
crazy for me though. If I had to like, I have my favorite clubs. If my two favorite clubs are Real Madrid and PSG. They're like Real Madrid maybe has a leg up on it. PSG is a close number two. So let's go PSG the rest of the way. I would love to see them win Champions League, win their first Champions League. But if I had to pick a Premier League team, my Premier League team is Arsenal. That's the wild thing of it all.
And that's what I was gonna kind of parlay to. Well, I'm a fan of a certain young lady by the name of Anne Hathaway, and I just want to say, I saw her cheering for Arsenal. I saw her in the jersey. I was like,
nobody knew she was an Arsenal fan until Champions.
But guess what, man? We might be on the outs too. Like the Sixers, right now, I'm Lakers in 5. I've been converted to Lakers in 5. Right now,
actually, I got a better crazy wacky story for you. Now that I think of it, Coachella.
Oh God,
Coachella. Mr. T-Pain, where have you been all my life? Talk about a swan song if I have ever seen. Can we get this man a halftime show at the Super Bowl after what I just saw?
You know what? Can he do a halftime show? Like,
bro, let us not lie. When we were in high school, who was on every freaking?
Oh no, go watch. You remember what's that show? 106 and Park. Every song in the top 10. T-Pain featuring Plies. So featuring T-Pain. Rick Ross featuring T-Pain. Flo Rida featuring. It was every song. It was on my way home today. I can look at my phone right now. The last song. Oh, of course, it's right here. The last song. Can you see it? The last song I was just listening to. Shawty. Even though I'm not jamming.
Call me Bike.
Dog. So yeah. Yeah, no.
Kay, I hate to say this. We're officially the Unks. We're the Unks. The Super Bowl's coming to be appealing to us in the next few years.
Shoot. Hey, listen. I think he can do it, but after Kendrick Lamar, I don't know if the man's gonna allow that right now. I think they're gonna go back to like Taylor Swift, and they might do like Red Hot Chili Peppers again. They might do like AC/DC.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but all I'm saying is his Coachella performance was really, really good. I'm proud of him. I'm glad he got the chance to do it, because dude, when we were in college, like that man was holding it down.
Yeah,
he was holding it down for everything. So
he's goated. He's a legend. And
scary.
And speaking of our era, so like I personally didn't go. My wife did, but she went to the Millennium Tour or whatever. Bow Wow was there and Omarion. I couldn't go see that shit. I was like, for me, an Eras tour for me, I want to go see like Jeezy, Gucci Mane. I'll throw T-Pain in that. Like that's my 2000s. Like Lil Wayne. I want to go. That's my 2000s era. I ain't trying to see. Let me hold you. I ain't trying to see all that. I ain't fresh in my Isabels. I ain't trying to see none of that stuff. I was like, all right. I want to see my version of a different kind of era to it. But no, T-Pain would be dope to go. I have not seen T-Pain in person actually, so that's actually something I would love to see.
He's made so much money off of streaming, which is wild.
Yeah. No, shout out to T-Pain.
Wild. That's wild.
All right, now going back to some crazy wacky. I just want to give a shout out to anybody named Nico. It's been a tough week. It's been a tough week. If your name is Nico Iamaleava or Iamaleava and Nico Harrison. Um, so let's talk about the NIL. Nico from the University of Tennessee, former quarterback of the University of Tennessee. Um, he was making $2 million. He was a pretty decent quarterback for the University of Tennessee. Got them to the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. And Ohio State just belt to ass type of situation. Comes back this year, skips. There's been a lot of reports, a lot of stories. So right now we're still in that beginning phase of a lot of he said, she said type of deal. But what we do know, he didn't show up to practice. Whether it's him, his father, or his representation, they want $2 more million to get him to $4 million. And Tennessee is like, okay, goodbye. his name was I Believer. He said, I guess you will leave it. And they sent him packing. He's now in the transfer portal, and he
UCLA
probably
now.
fumbled some millions of dollars. We'll see.
He's at UCLA.
Is he?
Hmm?
As of when?
As of a few hours ago, UCLA.
There's no way.
Pretty sure I saw UCLA.
I know that's an option. I don't think that's happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw. Anyways, keep talking. I'll look it up.
So long story, it kind of just there's a lot. That's the crazy and wacky thing for me in that situation.
Eyeing. Okay.
So
Set to transfer to UCLA.
The problem with this is that we can point and blame everybody, right? I hate the president that is sent. I hate the fact that there's no guardrails and this is college football and being like NFL. But at the end of the day, the NCAA is a joke. To me, they said, all right, y'all want to pay? Cool. Have at it. To me, the way that they've handled this whole situation over the last couple of years, this Wild Wild West situation, it's a problem. I don't know how, when, or what needs to happen, but that shit is wacky. All the way wacky. And then speaking of wacky, Nico Harrison. Boy. boy.
No cameras.
Brother said, all right, look, we'll do a little press conference, but y'all can't see this one. And he goes into this room. A few people got little tape recorders, and they said, yo, what you think? They comparing trades to Monte Ellis trade, and Andrew Bogut. He keeps saying defense wins championships. He doubled down, triple downs, and quadruple down on the fact that, we traded him for defense. Mind you, Luka just went there last week, dropped 45 on the head. The whole state, the whole arena, fire, Nico, cheering for Luka. It was a Laker home game basically. The game was they had shirts that said "Thank you, Luka." They gave it to every fan. This is a team fighting for play-in situation and doing a whole tribute to somebody they just traded away for no damn reason 2 months ago. And Nico, it's not his fault. I know it's the ownership. I know he's just the guinea pig, but brother.
He's a crucified. He's a sacrificial lamb.
Brother. I don't even know the owner's name. All I know is Mark Cuban. And Mark Cuban, they said, nah, brother, you ain't making no more decisions. We make the decisions now. Poor Dirk hates that team now. Luka's parents hates that team. Mark Cuban hates the team and the direction they're going. Everything is just such a mess. And we're going to get to the NBA in a second. I want to kind of just touch on a few things really quickly. But Luka Doncic's #1 selling jersey. Obviously, he's on a new team, but #1 selling jersey. They tried to do before that game. They tried to do some type of collab with him. The Dallas Mavericks trying to do a collab with an opposing player. Nah, bro, you can't eat off of me no more. Y'all said I'm fat, lazy. I'm an alcoholic. I smoke too much hookah. That's what y'all said. I just took y'all to the finals just less than a year ago. So, but that's what y'all said. So cool. That's what y'all want. Imagine they told Michael Jordan he couldn't smoke cigars and gamble no more and drink Hennessy. Imagine they told Michael Jordan that. Michael Jordan was averaging 37 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Mike, you got to stop gambling. You got to stop smoking cigars and no more Hennessy. I would have been like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face, dog. That's basically what happened because, it wasn't like Michael Jordan was winning championships in his first 5 years. He was just the best player on the court. The championships eventually came as he grew up and built a team around him. Luka's 25, bro. Like, bro, what are y'all doing? So the wackiness of anybody named Nico right now, it's a hard knock life, dog. It's a hard knock life, man.
God bless.
Another
God bless.
a little segue to something funny. You know, I wanted to kind of do a quick recap over the last couple of weeks of what we before we get to the NBA playoffs and everything like that. I want to give a shout out to the weekend that Rory McIlroy had. Uh, we're officially unks, right? But I love golf now, bro. I will sit there and watch 4 days of golf, and that Sunday of the Masters, Saturday too, but that Sunday specifically of that Masters with DeChambeau, he thought he was about to do something, fell flat in his face. Justin Rose was down in the dumps, came back. Scotty was like just creeping. Scotty was just creeping, like, all right, I'm gonna keep y'all honest. Ludwig, like, I'm gonna keep y'all honest. And McIlroy is playing mental gymnastics with himself. And I'm like, my degenerate gambling ass. Yeah, I put a little bit of money on Rory McIlroy. So as a fan and as a gambler, I could only imagine what he was going through mentally. Because holy Sunday, bro, I've not seen shit like that before, dog. Were you tuned into the Masters? To golf this weekend.
I'm not a big golf person, but just from the alerts I started getting on Saturday, I was like, I think I need to tune into this.
Yeah.
And the creep up of Justin Rose coming into it, I was
Yeah.
like, you gotta be kidding me, man. The only thing that I guess we were just spoiled when we were a little bit younger was the dominance of Tiger Woods. And we thought that Rory McIlroy would be that next person.
Yeah.
We thought Rory would be just as dominant as Tiger, but he had his fall off. But he's won a lot of major tournaments. It's just been the six, but it's just been time between them. There's been the drop off where we were like, this is what I hate about the sport of golf and some sports too that make it happen. But when one legend goes to the end of his career, we're quick to anoint another one, not realizing that there will be more great players of the craft than just one guy like a Tiger Woods. And I feel like we did that very quickly with Rory McIlroy, but then we were blessed with Bryson DeChambeau and what's the other goofy guy that won the Masters? I can't think of his name. Like 3 years ago. Anyways, I don't know. They're all like racist Southern names, anyways, most of them. But anyways, like all these guys they're very good at golf. And when it comes down to the Masters, that's the most watch, performance. I feel like that's the all-star game for us in golf. And people are watching that. And when they do, it's just beautiful to watch it. And it's anybody's time to shine. But we're just so used to the dominance of one player of a Tiger Woods that I'm at the point that I want to watch just to see what Tiger does. And I don't care what anybody else does. But now that Tiger's out of it and calling out of it, I'm just like, all right, I'll see what this guy's got. And Sunday, great stuff to watch.
Absolute cinema. That's what it was. It's like when he was on 18, he just needed to get that last putt just to win it and avoid the playoff. Get the hole! Oh, I was like, dog. I'm stressing as a gambler. Can you imagine him as the golfer, the one that like, I need this so I can complete my career Grand Slam that I've been waiting years to do. Like, I was the guy. I fell off for years, quote unquote, and I need this shit. And little me, bro. I'm just like, oh man, I can only imagine what was going through his head. I'm like, if I'm him, I'm like, bro, I need a cigarette. I need the old 20s long cigarettes. I'm like, I need me a long cigarette, dog. I can only imagine the stress he was going through. So, but yeah, shout out to Rory. Also, the Gators, University of Florida, they captured the championship over Houston. UConn women Huskies, they captured their championship over South Carolina. That was a belt to ass game. Alexander Ovechkin passed the great one, all time in goals, which is LeBron passed Kareem a few years ago. We always thought, oh, what are some other records that could be broken? That was one that people talked about. And Ovechkin, somebody who, you think about LeBron being, like LeBron's been in my life since middle school, and now I'm my mid-30s. You know what I mean? So, same thing with Ovechkin. They got to see some of these old guys that we grew up with. We are officially unks, bro. Like the people we grew up with are old. So you kind of like appreciate that kind of stuff. Yeah, Champions League is going on. I know that. So there's been a lot going on. Anything over the last couple of weeks for you?
The thing with Ovechkin, like I didn't think he was going to eclipse it because he had like a down part of his career, and then it just went. It was like a steep and then right back up. I was like, oh my God, this guy might do it. Because I've been into hockey a lot the last few years, and I think like the last few years the Capitals have had to fight for playoff spots. Now they're number one in the division, which is wild. And it's crazy. Hockey is, I think, the most craziest sport because if you get the right group of guys, the next year you can go from shit team to very, very good. And it's a quick window for you in hockey. And I'm not saying the Capitals have won a Stanley Cup. Ovechkin's got a Stanley Cup. So we crowned Sid the Kid to be the next best hockey player. And he's great. I'm not taking anything away from Sid the Kid. As far as scoring, assists, and everything he brings to the game. But what Ovechkin brings to the game is a pure scorer and dominant on the ice, even at this age. This is LeBron years right now. Yeah. And to bring out Juicy J to Bands and Make Her Dance.
I was just about to say, Bands and Make Her Dance. Bands and Make Her Dance.
That boy loves him some scoop.
I was like, I like that. That's swag. I like it.
I like it. I like it too, man. I think it's super cool to see, bro. We're in our unk phase. We're seeing our guys that came in when we say it now, and it sucks because we like tell the youth. We tell people younger than us. I think when we came in, and the youth will probably tell the next bundle, we got to see some great players. No, what we got to see was
we got spoiled. We got spoiled for real.
We got spoiled. I just don't feel like there's anybody passing the torch in basketball just yet. I don't feel like there's anybody. Baseball, okay, yes, I can see it with the Judges and the Mookie Betts and the Shohei Ohtanis and all that. I can see that.
It's there. Those three, they carrying this shit.
Yeah, ball schemes too. I can see that. Football, it's like a lot of this.
Mahomes is,
Mahomes, yeah, I can see it, but like we had it so good. We
got Michael Jordan, we got Kobe, we got LeBron, we got Tom Brady, we got Tiger Woods, we got Derek Jeter, we got Barry Bonds, we got
Junior, Ken Griffey Jr.
We got Ken Griffey.
We have so much, man, and it's like I don't know, the swing man. That's like so iconic for me. That's like the most iconic logo. Like Mike Trout is a great player. I'm not saying Mike Trout is the most underappreciated baseball player in the world because he's so loyal. That is why.
I won't say underappreciated. He's the most unfortunate baseball because he should be.
If you told me right now, if you could put on a Hall of Fame plaque, Ken Griffey Jr. or Mike Trout, who would you put?
Ken Griffey Jr.
But Mike Trout's numbers are pretty identical.
I know that. Now, all right, imagine this. Had Bryce Harper, instead of Bryce Harper, Mike Trout came home to Philly and was doing what he's doing, what Bryce Harper's doing now, he would be, the way we talk about Mike Trout would be completely different.
I agree.
And that's me.
But he's so loyal. At some point, you got your Damian Lillard moment. Kevin Garnett, where they're like, we just want you to win. Yeah. I can't do it. They've literally have thrown so much shit against the wall for this man. I feel bad. Anyways, let's go back to back.
We'll DH him. We good in the outfield. We'll DH him. We good. I don't mind.
He's too good not to put in the field. Anyways, let's go. Let's go to baseball or basketball. Come on.
All right. So the NBA playoffs, technically the play-in, but the NBA season is over. The playoffs are here. We got our playoff seedings and everything like that. I did say, before we get to the playoffs and everything like that, I kind of want to put a bow and wrap up the NBA regular season. What started off as the ratings are down. Oh, they shoot too many threes. Oh, it's boring. Oh, Christmas. The NFL dominating. What started off as a strange start of the season, from January on, the NBA has been on steroids. Adam Silver said, I heard what y'all said. We firing coaches in April. We traded generational players in the middle of the season. We throwing grenades and stuff now all of a sudden. Now we gonna do whatever. I got my little Nerf gun. We on our John Morant. We on our John Morant shit right now. All right, we locked in. So let's kind of start really quickly. I have the top 15. We talk. One of the big conversations that we had, early on in this year was that face of the league thing, right? Everybody, that was. We see LeBron is slowing down, Kevin Durant slowing down. We're still getting great performances from, like, Kevin Durant averaged like 27, 28 points a game. I know the team sucked, but he still averaged 28. Steph still dropping 52 points. LeBron still dunking on people. So, but we do acknowledge that our generation of, we've been spoiled. Our generation has started to kind of like, dwindle down a little bit. But I brought up the top selling NBA jerseys because it kind of gives like a quick picture of where does the consumer, like when you talk about the face of the league, the consumer will tell you, who are we backing? You know what I mean? And Luka Doncic ended up number one this year on top selling jerseys. Obviously, that's going to be an inflated number for him because he switched teams. Everybody wants that jersey, and anybody who's a Mavericks fan still bought his jersey from the Mavericks. Anybody who's a Luka fan bought, so everybody's going to get his jersey. So that one made sense. Still holding the top three is still Steph and LeBron. This is the first year, like in 11 years, that Steph and LeBron is not number one or two. So we see who the face of the league still is. It's still Steph. It's still LeBron. Luka as well. Now I wanted to kind of get just a quick run through. Jason Tatum, number 4, a guy who's openly said, I want to be the face of the league, right? Jalen Brunson, number 5, New York Knicks. Like somebody who I'm very, very, like the New York Knicks, we look at the top 5. You got Los Angeles, Boston, and New York, and then you got Steph Curry. Duh, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. Surprisingly, though, because we talk about Luka being on the new team, Karl Anthony Towns is not in the top 15. That was a surprise for me because I thought everyone already had it until he put the jersey. Victor Wembanyama 6, Anthony Edwards 7, John Morant 8. All right. All those players are ranked ahead in jersey sales against the 2 potential MVPs, SGA and Nikola Jokic, who round out the top 10. And then from 11 to 15, you got Giannis, LaMelo, Durant, Booker, and Jaylen Brown. What are your thoughts? Any surprise or anything that kind of stood out to you, just kind of based on that top 15, especially based on the conversation that we have about face of the league and all that kind of stuff?
No, I think it's just more of a fan thing. Like LeBron and Steph are definitely going to get their praise for what they've done in the NBA. I'm pretty sure fathers and cousins and unks are like, hey, these guys form the guys that you like. So those don't take away from me. Luka, that one is not a shock to me. Major move, trade, player everybody knew was a Maverick. Like, I would even buy a Luka jersey with the Mavericks, but now, like, I'm even enticed to get the Laker one. And then Jason Tatum coming off an NBA championship. I get that one. Nick Love with Jalen Brunson. I get that. I honestly get the top. It's just
Jokic. What about Cat not being in the top 15? Like, you would think He's Dominican in New York now, like a new player.
Enticing, but doesn't really do anything for me. The one that's like an oddball for me is just LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, like
The kid.
I know. I know the kids love LaMelo Ball, but I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But that's that. Even PG-13 not being on here because as much as I hear that man's name praised, like I don't get it either. So I know you hate him, bro. And even Daryl Morey say the three are coming back, which is really just one. It's just
Thankfully, I'm a Lakers in 5 now. I'm a Laker fan now, so I'm good, bro.
I got a funny thing to send you later. Don't worry, you'll piss your pants laughing. But I'm not mad with this list. I just think SGA and Jokic are in small markets, and they're just kind of like they're exciting to watch. Yes, but you see a guy in an SGA jersey or a Jokic jersey, man, that's a fan of that team. That's a fan of that team. That's not a guy that's just going out to buy the jersey.
All right, from that top 15, I want you to name the players that I'll buy a jersey tomorrow. Who are those jerseys you would actually buy?
Luka, Steph, LeBron, Brunson, Wembanyama, Ant-Man. I did buy a Morant jersey, but this one probably comes with a gun.
Let's go.
I probably would buy an SGA jersey.
I could never.
I think I would. Giannis, and that's it. I think that's it. I would buy. Other than that,
yeah, I would get a Luka. I can't get a Steph jersey.
Do you want the youth to pay into this? I can get a real quick response for us on what the youth wants. Nene, come here.
All right, let's do it.
Here's your celeb moment right here. Here's your celeb moment, okay?
What's up?
All of those jerseys. This is Nene. Nene, say hi to my co-host and say hi to everybody in recording land. Out of all those jerseys right there, which ones would you buy if you could take any of those?
LeBron James.
Okay, LeBron James. All right. You got to pick out of all the 15. Out of all those 15, which ones would you have?
John Morant and Anthony Edwards.
And Anthony Edwards. LaMelo Ball?
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
The youth.
Well,
think about it. John Morant.
He's got his shoes.
John Morant, Anthony Edwards. Look at the marketing behind Anthony Edwards. Like, look.
Oh, no. The marketing on Anthony Edwards is perfect. Perfect. I got no beef with that. Would you wear a Jokic jersey? Yeah, look at that. See?
Well, like, what am I gonna do with a Jokic jersey?
He's boring. He's good.
If I'm gonna get a number 15 Nuggets jersey, who am I gonna get?
Tatum or Jaylen Brown? Nope. Yeah, he's from Philly, so he doesn't like that. Giannis.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Probably will.
Victor Wembanyama.
I play on his team on 2K.
2K.
Okay. You're my player.
Luka jersey with the Lakers now?
Maybe.
Okay. Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson? He's a Philly fan. Yeah.
All of us say.
What about Shea?
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Kevin Durant.
Oh, God. Kevin Durant. Paul George.
Oh, hell no.
He said yes to Paul George.
Oh, God. Hell no.
He's a Sixers fan, though. You can't be mad at that.
I don't give a damn.
Would you rather? Okay. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, or Paul George? Which one of those three would you wear a jersey? Joel.
Over Maxey?
That's respectable. No. That's respectable. I
have an Embiid jersey.
You do have an Embiid.
I have an Embiid jersey. I also have a.
It shows the way the youth wants to buy, though, compared to what we would buy.
I have a Jelly Bean Bryant jersey too. Shout out to the Bean. But all I'm saying is the youth still saying LeBron James, dog. Like LeBron.
The first one said was LeBron James. The first one he said was LeBron James. So
LeBron James. So I like that. That I like that we're able to get a pulse of the youth because we as old heads know what we like, but we know Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, that marketing, John Morant, no matter what people, that's why he needs to chill out, dog. Like, they love you, Ja. Like they love you. So, um, but go watch the AAU video. They doing it now. Like go watch college basketball. They doing it now. Like he's influential. Like think about it. My favorite basketball player is Allen Iverson. As a 10, 11-year-old, like should I be following Allen Iverson? Like no, I should be. I should be following Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? But no, I saw AI. I bought this. I said, Mom, I want the sleeve. I want the headband. I want Iverson. I went full Allen Iverson. Like I played basketball full. When I made creative players on like NBA Live, always had cornrows, always had hella tattoos. Like that's what I did. I wanted to be like Allen Iverson. So that's why I get it. But all right, cool. So before we kind of go into some predictions and everything from like an award standpoint, what were your some like I mentioned earlier? You know, the season started off weirdly, and then we went to Luka Doncic getting traded over right after the Lakers beat that New York Knicks ass. You remember that? Right after we beat that Knicks ass, the night of Royal Rumble, Luka Doncic gets traded to the Lakers. We saw Mike Jenkins get fired. We saw Taylor Jenkins get fired. Michael Malone get fired. All in the last couple weeks of the season for playoff teams. Like what we've seen, amazing performances from Jokic this year, average a triple double. We saw Steph go for 52. We see LeBron do reverse windmill dunks. We see SGA score 40 on a nightly basis. So we've seen a lot of cool moments and everything like that. So for you, like what would you say some of your favorite moments from the season was?
I mean, the biggest has to be Luka. Luka's movement is like unheard of, man. And when you go down that rabbit hole, it's wild. That has to be the biggest. And then towards the end of the season, like Mike Malone, you want to talk about an underappreciated coach? Like Mike Malone is it. That guy, how do you get rid of him?
Beef.
I'm trying to read what the beat writers are writing on this because it's getting spicy. A lot of shit that's going on there.
There was beef.
There's beef, and it's wild because, I mean, it's Colorado. Like it's like the most like Switzerland state in the United States. I feel like.
Yeah.
There ain't shit going on in Colorado. Everybody's like just super cool, super chill. And I feel like Mike Malone got everybody happy at the presser. He said so-and-so's coming back. He didn't come back. It's just wild to think that you would move on from a Mike Malone. And who do they appoint as the interim right now? It's
Rick Adelman's son.
The guy for the Timberwolves for a little bit.
Huh?
The Timberwolves guy. He was for the Timberwolves for a little bit. The head coach.
Who? Jenkins?
No, Adelman. Wasn't Adelman the head coach? No, that was what's his face's son? He was another head coach's son.
Carl? No. Oh, oh my God. Oh my God. I know who you're talking about.
Exactly. They got rid of him real quick. They went on that spree. They brought him back next year, and they were like, "Yeah,
they say, no, we good."
Coach,
because I think his dad passed away.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but think about the coaches that have been fired lately. Mike Malone won an NBA championship just a couple years ago. Frank Vogel won an NBA championship just a few years ago.
Frank Vogel, we know, is a puppet, bro. We know that.
Won an NBA championship just a few years ago.
As a puppet, we know that.
Just think about the people who's gotten fired. If you won Coach of the Year or you won a championship,
we talk about how shitty he is all the time.
I agree, but think about it. If you won an NBA championship or you won Coach of the Year, your job is not safe.
Meanwhile,
Chauncey Phillips just got an
job.
extension, and he's just we're just getting a little bit better every year. But God forbid you win a championship and the very next year you're not as good. All right, you're fired. It's like you don't want to. It's like they don't award winning in the NBA. Monty Williams to the finals, fired.
I think it's more of like what's going on in the locker room. I think GMs are now paying more attention. Well, I mean the GM with the Nuggets got fired too because because
they have beef. Mike Malone and what was his name? Whatever his name was.
Calvin Booth.
Calvin Booth, they have fired. Like they said, they have beef on me. They said, yeah, both. We don't want to pick both y'all go home. Like God.
I think it comes down to is like good organ. And I'm not holding against the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets just like we're sick of this bullshit. Like we're just gonna move on from this petty nonsense and go on and get two guys that can work well together. Um, and the sad part is all the finger pointing is going to Russell Westbrook,
Poor
and
guy, dog.
I feel
Can't
bad
catch
for
him.
him. It's like
Bro,
what more? I think at this point in his career, we're coming to the point where we're gonna have to say goodbye to Russ because
but think about it. They've been doing this to Russ since the beginning. They blame Russ for Kevin Durant wanting to leave. They said, yeah, they just can't coexist with Kevin Durant. They blame Russ for that whole thing. Then he goes and average triple doubles. He averaged a triple double, wins the MVP. Does it a couple more years, and they say, oh, he's stat padding. Like, damn. He goes to Washington. They liked him in Washington. They did. But the Lakers wanted him. That didn't work out. They blame Russ. The Clippers didn't work out. Maybe Russ had something to do with that. The Nuggets are not working out. They fired the coach. It's like, damn, Russ, like he can't catch a break. And I get it. Somebody who plays as hard as him 24/7. That I don't know. Maybe that rubs people the wrong way. Like maybe like the he like him and the youth don't get along because of how he is. But to me, he's the low hanging fruit because it's easy. It's like yeah, just blame Russ, which sucks. Like, and it all came to a head that last game, that game where we talked about it a couple weeks ago. He smoked the layup, and then he fouled a homeboy in the corner, and apparently that was like the last straw. That was like, see, y'all keep playing this dude Russ, da, 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 da. And it's unfortunate, but not like yeah, a lot of those firings and big stories, like you mentioned, the Luka thing the fact that we're still hearing more stuff coming out, like he just did a private press conference, like what, like let it go. Like the more you talk about it, the worse it looks. Dog. It's like this shit. It happened like end of January, right? Like dog,
But
it's over.
but the NBA is like a soap opera now. You know that. It's literally a soap opera. That's all it is. We're gonna get as much finger pointing as we can.
Yeah,
And the fact that we aren't given what we want to hear, like we want to hear what really went down.
yeah.
We have to go down a rabbit hole from beat writers and things like that. So we're not getting what we want to hear. It's not like given immediately, and it sucks.
Bro, there better be a 30 for 30 on this one because that shit gonna be good. We know. Some remember that guy, I forgot what his name is. He wrote for the Patriots. He wrote a whole book about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's relationship. That's a lot. That shit got very contentious. So I want to see what that relationship is like, throughout Dallas and everything like that. That I'm looking and I forgot to mention what's that coach's name? Mike
Doc
Brown.
Rivers, Doc
Mike
Rivers,
Brown got fired by the Kings earlier this year. Remember that? Like that even
they
happened.
made it into the play-in by the skin of their teeth, man. Like
We, I
I
didn't.
don't get these teams because I feel like in the NBA it's more of the coaching that can get you a little bit farther than the player, in my personal opinion. Because I think it's both. I
It
think,
depends. It
but if
depends.
you have a good coach, how many times do we see an NBA champion win with a very good coach?
No, no.
And we know about it.
Phil Jackson is a perfect case of that. Michael Jordan before Phil Jackson, yeah, I'm gonna go average 38 points a game, and we gonna be out in the first round. Michael Jordan will Phil Jackson 6 rings. Kobe Bryant and Shaq before, yeah, when they have Dale Harris and all that, we're just gonna get swept by the Spurs. Phil Jackson with them, three-peat. Day he leaves, Rudy Tomovich is there. Kobe, I'm just gonna average 38 points a game. He comes back, championship. So we know there's definitely a case study behind this. Coaching matters. So yeah, I would say I agree. Coaching does matter, but I think it matters when it comes to like handling like the egos in the locker room. You need to have somebody who's like strong enough to kind of handle all of that because like we talk about what's that the coach that coach for the Bucks was it Budenholzer? Like I thought Budenholzer was not a good coach. I thought Giannis played his ass off that series. So situations like that, LeBron in 2018, LeBron, he willed his team to the NBA Finals. LeBron in '07, Jokic in that series. So I feel like every now and then you still need to have that guy. I think the coach helps keep the energy up and keeps the egos out of the way, but you still got to have the player. I think the best player and the coach have to have some type of like understanding. That's to me is what matters because like Phil Jackson was able to like get the best out of Michael Jordan. Like yo, you can pass the ball every now and then. You know, you got other players. Kobe, you got Shaq. You know what I mean? You got, and then when he came back, Kobe, like go watch those NBA finals. Kobe did his thing, but those games that they won, Ron Artest game-winning shots. You know what I mean? Like it was the other guys, Lamar Odom. Like it was the other guys that brought them home. Look at the Jordan era, Steve Kerr, John Paxson. You know what I mean? So we realize, okay, you got to rely on the others every now and then. You can kind of that's when the coaching kind of comes in. So shit, Steve Kerr got Andre Iguodala NBA Finals MVPs.
But he's a good coach. He's a good manager. I think like even Tyronn Lue.
Is he?
No, he's a good coach. You know it damn well.
Oh no, we about to talk about we'll get to the playoffs. He's a good coach, but
Oh, you don't even do that.
he's a good coach.
Bell to
But
ask
he makes some
the
questionable.
Celtics who should have won the NBA championship. And Sammy was like, "Yeah, this is it. We're gonna win it."
That was a coaching thing. Yes,
He's a good
was
coach,
coaching,
you know
but
why? Great player too.
Steph Curry, Klay
What
Thompson,
you
and
need-
Draymond Green.
But I also think like guys like you know how I preach about more in the NFL, how like teams give up on players. I feel like in the NBA they do that with coaches too, way too soon. Like Tyronn Lue, it's like we lost LeBron James, time to get rid of Tyronn Lue too. Dumb. Look what he's done with the Clippers organization. Doc Rivers couldn't get out the first round. I mean, I know he like the Clippers. We can laugh about that organization all day long. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and James Harden. James Harden has come into his swan song all of a sudden and playing very good. Kawhi Leonard, when on the court, is effective, and Paul George, who cares? But I think Tyronn Lue is a leader of men. I think he's a great coach, and I think you could put him on a very shitty team, and over time he can build that up. I feel like he is that type of coach. I don't think Mark Budenholzer is. I think in that era when Giannis was there, I think Giannis was just so dominant, and he was like, "I'm going by this guy, and we're gonna go by him because he's got the will to win, and he can do it." I just think, like you said, Budenholzer is just, man, he's vanilla yogurt. And same thing with Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel, I feel like he's good, but like he's just a puppet. Do this, Frank. Okay, I'll do that. Do this, Frank. Okay, I'll do that. You know, that's the kind of guy he is. And I think a lot of these guys, like the guy in Utah who got kicked out and went to Atlanta, what's his name?
Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, I like him.
He's a coach.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah,
That's a guy that I like a lot.
Yeah. You know who's a good coach?
Who?
Ime Udoka is a damn good coach.
Look, he took the Rockets to second place to probably go out.
Damn good. He's a damn good coach.
Yeah, I think he's a good coach too. He just, cheats on his wife. That's it. And I think Mike Brown is a good coach too. And that guy Taylor Jenkins or whatever his name was, that guy, what he did with Memphis, I think that.
You know how I know Taylor Jenkins is a good coach? Because I watched that playing game last night, and we got to get into that in a little bit. But I watched that playing game last night, and I watched Zach Edey try to guard Jimmy Butler for 4 quarters, and I realized.
What's the Will Smith mean?
The lunacy, the gall, I'm like, anybody in their right mind knows this is a mismatch. And I feel like if Taylor Jenkins was there, like, yo, Zach, I know we drafted you in the first round. You gotta get on the bench.
You gotta go, brother.
You're getting cooked. You're getting cooked. But let's go through our NBA awards. And so I do want to talk about the play-in and the playoffs and everything like that. So I got the projections based on I don't got what betting site I use, but I got the projections. All the ballots are already in. So what I'm going to do is I want to give you who you think's going to win and who do you think? Who would you pick? Do you feel that actually deserves the award? Okay. All right, we'll start off the top. The most contentious award that people have been talking about all year. Like, it's literally been a two-man race since November. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, number 9 selling jersey, versus Nikola Jokic, number 10 selling jersey. Right now, SGA is the heavy favorite at minus 3,000. Jokic is at plus 1,000. Mind you, he just averaged a triple-double. His shooting splits are crazy. He's top 3 in every category. He's having the best statistical season I've ever seen in my entire life, personally. I wasn't alive for Wilt Chamberlain, so I don't know what the hell that was. But for my era, I never
against
seen
6'5" center white boys. Okay, that's what he was doing.
In my era, I ain't seen it like this. But who do you think is gonna win it, and who would you actually pick to win an MVP?
I'm gonna pick Jokic to win it because I think the NBA people are gonna be like, "This is amazing. What is going on?" He just averaged a triple-double. But there's also going to be chatter because of the Michael Jordans of the world and all those great MVPs that have won so many MVPs. I think now that we look at the MVP, I think that just because you win the MVP doesn't, I mean, it makes you the best player that year. But what this guy is doing, he's not winning champions like Michael Jordan. He's not winning champions like LeBron James, but he's very dominant at his craft. Can you put him in the top 5? No. Can you put him in the top 10? Okay, I can see that. But to put the offense through him, you have to give him respect. You can have a conversation. I just don't think I can put him as the best player to ever play the game. I really can't. I think if Shaq played against him, Shaq would mollywop him left and right.
Yeah, they play basically 2 different positions. Shaq will. Because, like, Shaq got to guard Jokic, too. And Jokic is out there doing his little...
Bro, I think Shaq would keep him in check. I really do.
Shaq will dominate on the offensive end. But Jokic is still going to get his numbers, bro. Like, he will.
No. I think if against Shaq, I think he wouldn't average 10 rebounds. I think he'd average 6, maybe.
Jokic?
I'm going by what I've seen, bro.
Okay,
I've seen Shaq.
I will argue with you.
Shaq would dominate, and I think he'd get like 11 to 16 points on him, and I think he would be dishing it out more. I think he'd get more closer to 20 assists a game against Shaq, throwing that kick out every time is what I would. For me, I'm giving it to Jokic, and I'm expecting Jokic to win it. If SGA wins it, I think it's like the writers are like saying, we can't just keep giving it to this guy. We have to give it to somebody else. We have to find a creative way to give it to them. But I'm praying, and you know, I used to be a big fan, and now I can't stand him anymore. I'm praying the Stephen A. Smiths come in there and are like, you have to respect this guy for what he is.
He's already told the world he's voting for SGA.
Did he?
Yeah, he went on Gil's Arena a month ago and said, "Oh, I'm voting for SGA," because that's my problem with the voters. They made up their mind since January, and they won't change their mind. Like, you have to go into this shit open-minded. You can't be like,
I get it first place. Get it first place. But goddamn, man, like we gave it to Russ when he was like dead last or didn't make the playoffs and made.
They were like 6th or 7th in the West that year.
Correct. Like, come on, man. And at a center position, it's impressive as a guard. It's normal to do it as a forward. As a forward, I can see like, that's whatever. But as a center or a guard, this is tough shit. Centers don't pass the ball like that. Offense will run through centers, but it's more for scoring on the inside, not dishing out, and playing defense and getting rebounds. Okay, double the center. That's a normal year for a center. But good Lord, what this man is doing?
Bro, like,
put some respect on his name.
If this was the NFL does MVP and they do Offensive Player of the Year. That's how they are able to get away with how they do their thing. They're like, yo, the MVP, we're going to give it to a quarterback, and then we'll figure out Offensive Player of the Year. Because, like, you'll see 2,000 yards from Saquon, but you're like, we got to give Josh Allen an award, so let's give him the MVP. This is one of those years that the voters probably, because, like, it's not like Jokic is really a great defender. Mind you, he's top 3 in steals, but to me, steals is a opportunist stat. Rather, some people like Dyson Daniels go take that shit. Some people like Jokic are just in the right place at the right time. I don't think he's a great defender, though, right? This is one of those years in which the NBA probably wishes they have a offensive player of the year type of award, because that would be a perfect award for Jokic this year. You are the best offensive player that we have seen in a very long time, and I think the voters, because they didn't give it to SGA last year and they realized, damn, we should have given it to him last year. They're forced to give it to him this year, but 1,000%. And again, and I understand why. You look at SGA, that team is the average age of 23 years old, right? And they won 68 games, number one team in the West and in the entire NBA. And he's the head of that snake. And if you take him off of that team, do we really honestly think that OKC is still a number one seed? Absolutely not, right? But if you take Jokic off of the Nuggets, let's take, all right. Let me get this from you. Take Jokic off the Nuggets and take SJ off the OKC Thunder, right? 7-game series. Who wins that series?
I say Nuggets.
Exactly. The Nuggets still win the series.
Who you say? Hold on.
I don't know.
Who would you say? SGA not on the Thunder, Jokic not on the Nuggets. Who would you think would win? 7 games. Let's go to the youth on this one. Who would you say? Come on.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I agree with you. The Nuggets will win that series. Like they'll win that in 5 or 6 because their next best players: Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon,
even Russ.
Russ will average a triple double. Like literally, he would literally average a triple double. The Nuggets are still fine. If Jalen Williams is your best player and Chet Holmgren is your second best player, you're getting swept. You're getting swept, and for that reason. That's the only reason why I'm okay with SGA winning. But from a statistical standpoint, and I look for what Jokic has done this year, he deserves to win like an offensive player of the year type of deal. But
I agree. But like it's just tough with the NBA. There's so many.
Most valuable to your team, valuable to the league. Like what is it? Most valuable to what? I just feel like if you take Jokic off of the Nuggets and you take SGA off the Thunder and put them in a series, the Nuggets are getting them out of there in 4 or 5 games, and I don't think anybody can argue that. I think that's a very universal thought. Like, of course, the Nuggets will beat the dog crap out of them. So that's why I would vote for Jokic, because I've never seen a season like that before from a center, mind you. But it's one of those things that you don't have like best player and most dominant player. Like, oh, they got MJ, best player, but most dominant. Oh, Shaq. You know what I mean? So this is one of those. How many, like, it's not like Wilt Chamberlain has 20 MVPs. He averaged 50 and 25. Like, sometimes you just have a dominant player.
The sad part is like we had centers like this when we were younger, but they play with pure point guards.
Yeah.
Like Hakeem Olajuwon passed the ball great, but he had Kenny Smith there.
Yeah, but Hakeem Olajuwon was one of the best players of all time. So
of course we had Shaq could pass the ball. I remember some great Shaq passes.
Orlando Shaq. He was
exactly. He was dribbling up the court. But he had Penny Hardaway there, and then he had even before Penny, he had Scott Skiles. Scott Skiles averaged 10 assists a game.
27 assists in the game.
Yeah. And then when he went to the Lakers, he had Derek Fisher, was a pure point guard, man. Like he had those guys. And
he also had Nick Van Exel when he first got there. Nick Van Exel, to me, that's one of those players, one of the greatest players that no one talks about.
Jones. He's another. See you later, buddy. We got to get these other guys in here that are gonna win it.
Yeah, bro. And he was an all-star. It was him. I think they have 4: Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Kobe, and Shaq all made the all-star. Anyway. All right. Defensive player of the year. Right now, the betting favorite is Draymond Green at -450. Evan Mobley's at +350, and then they got Lou Dort +600. Dyson Daniels +4,000. Who would you vote for? And it doesn't even have to be any of these 4. Who would you vote for? Who do you think is going to win?
I mean, I think Draymond's going to win, but you know where my vote's going.
USC?
You know it, bro. I've been saying I want this kid to take the leap, and I think this is the year for him to take the leap. I think for them being first, like I'm kind of being SGA-ish on this and saying like they're number 1 in their division, and the Cavs made a big jump. Give it to him, man. Like he's good. Evan Mobley's good. I'm not taking away anything from Draymond Green. I know he plays well defensively, but he's also got hands. He'll throw some bows if he's got it. But I think Evan Mobley deserves it.
For the longest time this year, all people spoke about was Evan Mobley and Jaren Jackson Jr., right? Draymond Green is the first basketball player I've ever seen in my entire life that talked himself to being voted into an award. Out of nowhere, a month ago, he
Yeah,
said,
where's Jaren Jackson at? Wasn't he like the favorite like 2 weeks ago?
he's not even top 5 no more, bro. And Gilbert Arenas talked about this. He's like, he plays in Memphis. If he won that award and he was eligible for a supermax, there's no way they're going to pay him that. So they started just sabotaging it, basically. And the whole narrative changed. Draymond Green literally just went on his podcast one day and said, I think I should be the defensive player of the year. Next thing you know, he's the favorite. I've never seen you look at the NBA, you talk about, oh, this is rigged, that's rigged, like Patrick Ewing, that was rigged. Like Draymond Green talked himself into winning a DPOY because I think he's going to win it.
I
And
think too.
he was on just enough televised games towards the end of the year. Mind you, he didn't do dog crap from November to March. But the last month and a half, he's been on just enough televised games where he's like, I am the DPOY.
Hey,
And all of a sudden,
he won a championship with me in my fantasy basketball league, so he's there.
all of a sudden, oh yeah, he's a defensive player of the year. So to me, Dyson Daniels, he averaged 3 steals a game. As a better, like his plus or minus, I mean his over under for steals on the Hard Rock app was always like 2.5, and it sucks that Wembanyama couldn't be in it this year. Victor Wembanyama hasn't played basketball since February, and he still leads the league in blocks, total blocks. I want people to hear what I just said. He has not played basketball since Valentine's Day, and he still leads the league in total blocks. So that's the real DPOY. But, Adam Silver said, no, you got to play 65 games. You're not eligible. So to me, the real winner of that award is Victor Wembanyama. But Draymond, hey, you can talk yourself into an award. I want to talk myself into more money. I said, you know what? I think I deserve a raise. If it works,
later, man.
If it works for you, Draymond, I think it should work for everybody. All right, Rookie of the Year. I don't really have. I will say I think we can all agree Stephon Castle unanimous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zachary Richardson and Alex Sarr since the All-Star break, they've played a lot better, and I think so. To me, they have a very promising future, so I am proud of them for that. But Stephon Castle is, to me, he's been.
I think no Wemby, and having like you dog him, but he played all 82 games, and you were like, he's not gonna be the starter. You got bamboozled again, bro.
He got me. This is Chris Paul. This is Chris Paul.
Chris Paul will make your career, and I think him there with Wemby, that's going to be a good 1-2 punch right there.
I thought he was going to help Wemby more than he was going to help Stephon Castle, but
he is going to help Wemby. But
yeah, Wemby not being there, Stephon was definitely the beneficiary of that. But no, literally the moment, this is how I knew Stephon Castle was going to work of the year. The moment Wembanyama, they said he had the blood clots, I went in the Hard Rock out the very next morning. I said, all right, I'm putting all my money on Stephon Castle to win Rookie of the Year because no Wemby, it's just me, bro. It's not Big Three, it's just Big me. He took off from there. But yeah, I think that's universe. He's minus 1,600. So yeah, that to me is a lock. Most improved player. This is an interesting award because the heavy favorite is Dyson Daniels from the Atlanta Hawks. They have Cade Cunningham, former #1 pick on here. They have Christian Braun on here as well. I don't agree with any of those three. Mine is Austin Reeves. That's who I would vote for. I think that's who I would vote for. I think, according to the gambling odds, I guess Dyson Daniels is going to win this. But me personally, I just watched the Kobe from the Ozark this year. That dude is a dog, bro. Like literally unconscious. And the games that LeBron and Austin Reeves Luka don't play, 45, 35, 9, and 7. Like Austin Reeves is a killer to me, and to me, his importance in the playoffs. We'll talk about the playoffs, very shortly. To me, he's the most improved in my opinion. But who you got on that?
I go Cade. You gotta go Cade. I would go with
But a
Cade.
number one pick, isn't it weird?
No, but he's also been out for the last 2 years. He hasn't played 2 years since being number one pick. And we were promised like this, and we were literally saying the Pistons are shit last year, and the year before that they're shit. They're not gonna get it right. And this year it's everybody's darling. You need to be afraid of him as a Knicks fan. Oh, they beat you last game of the season. Like, okay, whatever. But Cade Cunningham is definitely as advertised. Definitely as advertised. And
I love Cade.
Yeah,
I love Cade.
I
To
do too.
me, it's like people who are like, think about it. They went from what 15, 16 wins to a playoff seed. Not even a play-in. Because they solidified themselves to make the playoffs, which is impressive. So to me, they're the most improved team and the best player on the most improved team. Kind of like what Ja did because Ja won most improved player. Show me a gun. So to me, yeah, I could see Cade on that one as well. I just think with him being the number one pick, they're gonna be like, Brad, you're supposed to be this good, bro. It took you so long. So I just think he might get penalized for that. But I can see that. But to me, AR-15, Lemon Daddy, Kobe of the Ozarks, Tres Leche, my dog AR. All right, 6 man of the year. That night, remember I told you Stephon Castle? I put him, and then I said, all right, yeah, I had a Peyton Pritchard to that. I said, yeah, Peyton Pritchard's definitely going to be the 6 man of the year. I think he was going to win it. I think he deserves it. Other people on the list is Malik Beasley and Russell Westbrook for that reason. But what you think on that one?
I like Malik Beasley, but I like Peyton Pritchard more.
Yeah.
I think we've expected so much out of him, and more from the Townie aspect of stuff, from them being with us and recording, and how they thought the drafting of him was going to be a good 6 man. But Derek White was, I guess, that last year, and now he's filled the role of the starter, hybrid role. I don't know, and then you have Peyton Pritchard stepping up, because I feel like he was just overshadowed by way too many guards there and veterans in front of him, and now he's got the opportunity to be like, I got the ship.
Yeah. He got the green light.
Yeah, he's got, no pun intended there. So I think it goes to him. I'm always been a big Malik Beasley fan.
Yeah.
Outside of dating Larissa Pippen, but other than that, like I've always been a big Malik Beasley fan. I feel like we don't appreciate how good basketball. Because I remember when he was with the Wolves, I think it was just because I picked him up in fantasy, and I was like, damn, this dude just dropped 38. Damn, he dropped 42. Like,
he's a bucket. He is a bucket.
He's a bucket. But he did get punked by Giannis at the end of the season, so
I ain't know you talk like that, Giannis. Giannis just dancing all over here, like I was like, this Nigerian dog. That's what we do.
Giannis dropping M-bombs left and right. I know you
talk. Who is this guy? I'm telling. We gonna talk. I can't. We're about the last reward. I'm excited to talk about the playoffs real quick. Last award, Coach of the Year. Kenny Atkinson is a heavy favorite. JB Bickerstaff and Mark Dagnall is on there as well. Who you got?
Who's JB Bickerstaff with?
Detroit.
Oh man, really? That's the head coach?
Think about it. They went from Cleveland. The two people on there is the Cleveland new coach and the Cleveland former coach, and both of those teams went from, average or bad to really good or good. You know what I mean?
Man, this is wild. I feel like you got a Grant Hill, Jason Kidd this one with the head coaches here, man. I honestly feel like it.
I feel like you want to award Detroit because like Malik Beasley, Cade Cunningham, and JB, I feel like one of them deserve an award. I agree on that.
I'm proud. I'm so proud of them, for what they have accomplished, man. I really am, and I think one of them has to win it. I don't know who it's gonna be, and I'm praying that. I mean, what Cleveland has done is amazing, and Kenny Atkinson, like he went from being on the shitty fucking Nets once again to going to Golden State and being tutelaged under under Steve Kerr and then getting a head coaching job again and striking lightning in the bottle. And then JB Bickerstaff for doing a good job in Cleveland, but then getting the shit can, and then you're going to Detroit. Nobody wants to hear I'm going to Detroit. It's like almost like I'm going to Cleveland. I don't want to go to Cleveland either, but these two guys have turned it around.
Yeah.
So I feel like it has to be like and it won't. I know it'll probably be Kenny Atkinson, but I feel like it's only right that we Grant Hill and Jason Kidd this award right here and give it to two coaches, because it's very impressive to see Detroit come from the bottom to the top, and then Cleveland dethroning the Celtics to get the number 1 seed.
JB Bickerstaff gets my vote because I want to vote for Detroit for something, and I feel like Stephen A. Smith, who I can't stand, was he when Monty Williams got fired, he was like, "Oh, Monty Williams should be thankful he got fired because nobody wants to work at this job. This is the worst job in the NBA." Da, 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 da. And look what JB Bickerstaff did with this team. So to me, to take it, remember they lost 28 games in a row last year. Remember that shit. They were bad, historically bad. You know what I mean? For them to turn this shit around to, not avoid the play-in. They got a playoff seed, and like we're about to talk about the playoffs. They trying to say Brandon Jennings and a lot of people, Detroit might do something. And I know Cade Cunningham gets a lot of that credit. Isaiah Stewart gets recognized for everything but playing basketball. He dropping mixtapes now, dance hall songs. Malik Beasley, outside of Larson Pippen, he can shoot threes. Like Tobias Harris making $25 million. Like they put something together, and Bickerstaff made it work. So Kenny Atkinson, I respect what you did with that team. They had like multiple 15-game winning streaks or something like that. Like, incredible. Who knew? All you had to do was swap out Bickerstaff for Kenny Atkinson to turn them around. But I don't know. I like what Bickerstaff did with Detroit, especially for a job that nobody wanted, quote unquote. I got to give him credit for that. All right. We're going to run through this playoffs real quick because I still want to make sure that we talk a little NFL before the draft. So, without getting too deep into to the play-in situation, just to give a quick recap, playoff Jimmy is back, and Steph Curry did his thing. They just skated by Memphis, though. Trae Young, he crashed out versus the Magic. Crashed out. He crashed the hell out. He said, "You know what? I'm done with this shit, dog. Get me out of the game.
Get that. I feel like I hate Trae Young, but I feel like
turn off that ringer, buddy.
I don't know why he keeps going. It's on silent, man.
Put it on silent. Jesus Lord.
It's on silent. I don't know why he keeps going like that. It's wild. My bad. I get Trae Young up out of there, man. Like he don't want to be there, man.
Trae Young.
I hate Trae Young, but I
know you do, but that was some next level crashing out. that was some next level shit.
That was some kind of shitty way to fucking throw a guy out of the game. Playoffs, get out of here. Get him out of here.
Y'all wasting my time.
Listen, John Moran can shoot somebody, but we're going to throw your ass up out of here, man.
Man, take the basketball and then let me play soccer with this shit real quick. No, Trae Young, I love that energy. Miami, it feels like Miami's about to win this playing game against Chicago. So I'm very curious to see Miami and Atlanta. I want to see the game would be played in Atlanta. I feel like, we give Trae Young a lot of crap, right? But he has been to a conference final. He's buried the Knicks a couple of times. Like he's done some stuff in his career where he's not
so much away from this kid though, bro. How do you take away his second fiddle and send him to Cleveland? Like Jesus.
I know it's messed up. It is kind of messed up how they treat him.
Get everybody on out of here.
But that's why he crashed out, bro. So sometimes. When you the shortest guy in his court, your light skin, your hair don't look that good, you gotta crash out sometimes, dog.
You score and you average 11 assists a game,
They don't want to vote you in for
Like-
All-Star. You gotta like wait for people to get hurt. Like I feel disrespected about him, so I'm gonna crash out. I get it. So that happened. But what I want to do is kind of, and then on the West, like I said, playoff Jimmy show back up, Steph show back up. Even though everybody else didn't play as great, they were able to skate past Memphis. So I kind of want to go through series by. We're gonna do a quick three score thing, right? We go series by series. Obviously, we don't have all the series all the way locked in, but we're gonna go. We have a good idea, right? So we're gonna talk about who the X factor is for both teams, why both teams. So we're gonna say this team is gonna win because of this, or this team's gonna win because of this, and then you're gonna give me your prediction and how many games. All right. I'm gonna start off with the West Coast, the best coast. We'll start off. We now know Golden State has locked in that 7th seed. So, Jimmy did his thing, Steph did his thing, blase, blase, blase. They were the home team. Obviously, they're locked into the 7th seed. They got to go to the Rockets. The last time they played the Rockets, they had Steph Curry in the torture chamber, right? 3 points. Okay. I just want to say he had 3 points, and they talked about it for the next morning for like a couple minutes, right? If LeBron James had 3 points in a basketball game, I just want to know, what the coverage would be.
We would hear about it for a month.
We know what the coverage would be. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come apart. I'm not trying to be a LeBron fan, but I just want to, y'all know, if LeBron scored 3 points in the basketball game, the world literally will come to an end the next day. So anyway, I'll give you mine when you finish. Who are your X factors for both teams for that series? Why is each team going to win, and who do you think is going to win between the Rockets and the Golden State Warriors?
My team to win is the 7 Golden State Warriors. My X factor is Draymond Green to get into the head of Ime Udoka again. And I just think that he's going to be the one to, like, we know Steph's going to shoot. We know Steph is going to shoot. And the last thing he wants to be is in a house of horrors, with the Rockets and or the former Celtics head coach. So I think that's where Draymond comes in and fills the role of, I'm going to fix all of this and I'm going to make this good and comfortable for my guy. Of course, Jimmy Butler's going to be there and all of that. The role players will be there, but Draymond is my X factor to all this. Not scoring, just to be the
Who would be your X factor on the Rockets?
On the Rockets, I think the X factor with me is just Şengün because he's just so talented, and I've been wanting to see this leapfrog effect that he's got, and I think he plays the basketball very well. And I don't think we sing his praises enough because we want to see Chet Holmgren be that guy. And it's like Domantas Sabonis, like he's fucking great, but he just plays for a shitty team. If Sabonis was on the Rockets in the 2 seed, I think he'd be getting a lot more praise than what he's doing, So that those would be my X factors for both teams.
And then, so you gave me the reason why you think Golden State's going to win. If the Rockets were to win the series, what would be the reason for that?
Because Udoka is that guy. Because I feel like looking at this team, it's like they're young. They're getting there, and these guys haven't been there before. None of these players have been there.
Yeah.
Udoka's been there. He's been to the finals, but none of these guys have gone with him. So I think it's just more of the fact that, like, he can get them there in the regular season.
Fred VanVleet was on that Raptors team. I think he's the only one that's got, like.
I don't think he's got a ring with them, does he?
Yeah, he won it with them when remember he had a baby.
Yeah.
And he started hitting threes all of a sudden.
And they were going to let him go next year, but they brought him back.
Yeah.
I think I don't even think he starts now, does he?
I'm not even 100% sure. I think probably, but
I don't know. But I think it would be out coaching by Udoka, who gets the best of C. Kerr, if anything. But I think he's too young. He can do it and these guys are built for the regular season. Yeah. Postseason just different.
So you got Golden State in how many games?
I'll give him 5.
Okay. Oh wow, that's a gentleman's sweep. All right. My 2 X factors for the Rockets, Dylan Brooks. If anybody, if anybody's going to get into the
I
other
forgot Dylan Brooks and
if
Dre.
anybody's going to get into their head, I know they got Amen Thompson or whatever. Was it Amen or Oscar? They got one of them. But they got Dylan Brooks, and I feel like he's not scared of nobody. The fact that Draymond Green is on the other side, the fact that it's Dylan Brooks and Draymond, we finally have somebody that cancels out Draymond Green where it comes to the mental part. Because Draymond, the thing that he does really well, he gets into y'all head. Like, he will get into y'all head. Dylan Brooks, he's like, all right, cool, I'll cancel that out. So he's the X factor for the Rockets. On the Golden State side, Pajitsky or Post. One of those two every other night. Yeah, Quentin Post, the center. He be hitting random threes, right? I don't know who he is, but he be hitting random threes.
I don't even know who he is either.
But every time I watch Golden State play, I'm like, dog, who is this dude Post? To me, if those two are hitting threes, wide open threes, they're gonna be hard to stop. The Rockets will win if Amen Thompson does what he did against Steph Curry the last time and just hounds him all game. Golden State will win if playoff Jimmy is playoff Jimmy. That's just how I see it. But if I have to put a prediction on it, I got Golden State in 6.
Okay. 5 or
right.
6. I'm okay with either of those numbers.
Next series that I love. LeBron James. We got the 3 versus the 6. And speaking of that, because like that last game of the season between the Clippers and Golden State, I watched that. This is happening at the same time as Rory McIlroy almost choking away the whole Masters, right? I'm like, I don't know who I want to win this game because had the Golden State won, it would have been Lakers versus Golden State. Had the Clippers won, then it was going to be against Minnesota. But we got what we got, right? I'll give you mine, and then I'll let you take it over from there. So I just want to give a shout out to LeBron James. Year 22, 40 years old, and they still putting all this pressure on you to go win a championship. To me, that just defines how great you are, LeBron. So keep doing you, brother. X factors on the LA side, Jared Vanderbilt will be very important in this series because they need somebody to be that energy guy for them. Because like when it comes to like size, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they got Rudy Gobert, to me he's the X factor on Minnesota. They got a dude who's 7'3", who's gonna grab rebounds, right? The Lakers don't grab rebounds. They can't do all that. I need Jared Vanderbilt to punk somebody. That's how I feel. I feel like you got to have somebody who's going to punk the other team. I don't think Minnesota has anybody who could be an enforcer. Like, to me, the way to beat the Lakers, you got to have Jokic or you got to have somebody who can punk them, right? They don't have anybody who can punk the Lakers, in my opinion. But if Rudy Gobert can take advantage of his size, then that'll be one thing. To me, Jared Vanderbilt got to be like he played there before, so like he knows like I know how to get into their head. So to me, those are my X factors. I think the Lakers will win the series if Luka does his thing for 3 quarters and LeBron can take him home in the 4th. I think Minnesota wins the series if Anthony Edwards averages 40 points a game. Like literally, he gonna average 40 points a game. And Julius Randle got to show up because I remember him with New York. What did I tell you? A-Rod?
Jeans.
What did I tell you, A-Rod? Y'all are way better off without him, okay? Because he don't show up to me. Or if he don't show up, Ant-Man, Ant-Eater, Ant-Farm. Thanks to 5. And that's what I got. Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Avengers, the Hulk, it don't matter. Lakers and 5. All right, what you got? My X factors.
My X factor is the obvious. It's Luka. Feeling appreciated with an organization that's giving him the keys. And like they wanted to give to Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis is like, what do I do with this?
I don't want it.
Circle peg, puts it in square. It's like it's not fitting, So.
Meanwhile, Luka said, you didn't even have to offer to him. He pulled up, said, "Let me get them shits off of you, brother."
Exactly.
He put LeBron in the corner.
I'm going to give it to Luka. I think he's just going to be the biggest X factor here because he's coming off of a finals appearance with a BS team. No offense to them all, but Kyrie went fucking cold, man. Cold as I've ever seen.
Kyrie,
So
he played a little bit better, like, in spurts, but yeah.
yeah, he went bad, bro. He was horrible. So I think this
Horrible. We're not gonna say horrible.
horrible, bro. Look at the numbers that I remember watching those finals, and I was like, this cannot be Kyrie Irving. Look at those numbers, bro. They were embarrassing. I think one game he scored 3 points.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. You talking about the wrong series.
I don't care, but it's gonna be Luka coming off a high. And I think you have to go the obvious here too. It has to be Anthony Edwards, the 3-point champion this year. So if he's playing like that, oh man, Anthony Edwards is my face of the league. I'm praying that he takes it past his baby mama issues, but I want this guy to do well. And of course the supporting staff with these teams as well. Austin Reeves has to do something. Julius Randle has to play like he doesn't play in jeans. Rudy Gobert, we dog him all the time, but he's a dominant center when he's playing. And there's nobody there on the Lakers that I see as a dominant center. But if anybody can get him in check, I think LeBron James can do it. He did it in the Olympics, so why not do it now?
And who you got winning?
Lakers in 5, baby.
Lakers in 5. You ain't got no soliloquy for me?
Chet Holmgren. This don't look good.
Give me some Minnesota. Rudy, Tootie, Fruity. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5, man.
All right. To me, one of the most exciting series on the West Coast, the Denver Nuggets versus the LA Clippers. This one is going to go. I think this one's going to be good, brother. To me, X Factors. Ty Lue is an X Factor because he's got to be like, what do I got to do to stop this man Jokic? It's got to come down to, because we know James Harden, we know Kawhi, playoff Kawhi, we know all that, but there's got to be chess moves to win this series because you got to deal with somebody who probably feels slighted, they don't want to vote for you for MVP. And Jokic at the end of the year, he had this speech about they don't think we're gonna do good, but he says some stuff that made me feel like, oh shit, Jokic ain't serious. He ain't playing. And I feel like the Nuggets can win this series, and Jamal Murray, he's gonna see LA, right? You know what he does to the Lakers? He don't give he loved playing the Lakers. It's barbecue chicken when he play the Lakers. If he squints his eyes and he looks at LA, and he don't mind his Clippers. He just sees Los Angeles. If he goes full LA on them again, it's gonna be Christmas. It's gonna be absolute cinema for Jamal Murray. But if playoff Kawhi shows up to the damn series, I seen it, bro. I seen it. As a Sixer fan, I seen it.
Corner shot.
I watched it. The night that Daenerys on Game of Thrones burnt the city was the night of the doink, doink, doink shot. It was that same night. It was also the same night that my wife reached out to me on Bumble. She was like, do you even live in Tampa? So that was a crazy night for me. It was a lot going on. I was like, the day after my birthday, it was a crazy time. But, if playoff Kawhi becomes the second coming of Jordan again, I don't know. But I think this series goes 7. If it goes 7, it's in Denver. I think Jokic has 35, 20, and 12, and they take it home. So I'm giving this one to Nuggets in 7. What you got?
My X Factor, I like yours of Ty Lue because he's got to definitely put on the chess game here. I'm going to go Norman Powell for mine, though. I like Norman Powell because I feel like he just doesn't get the respect that he deserves in the NBA. Because when we turn on the game and we watch Norman Powell, he's buckets. Dude is buckets.
Yeah.
He's always in the right spot scoring. And nobody has decided to Carmelo Anthony him or Russell Westbrook him because I guess he hasn't slept with anybody's wives or or done anything crazy like that. But I mean, he's just a bucket getter, but he's in the right spots. And I think he's going to have to be that way against this Nuggets team. We could also say Kawhi, his availability, the best ability is availability, and Kawhi is just we don't know what Kawhi.
Yeah.
And then for the Nuggets, the new head coach. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
I didn't even think about that. That's scary.
Mike Malone, I was fine with. I thought Mike Malone was a damn good head coach. I was undervalued head coach. Did it with an organization, gambled on this guy Jokic, and made him into something.
Yeah. Because remember when he got drafted, him and Nurkic were both there.
Yeah,
they had a choice. They said, we got to send one of y'all away. They said, you know what, Nurkic, bye-bye. And the rest is history.
Yeah, it was a good payoff, and Mike Malone was part of that.
Yeah.
But I think now let's see what the new head coach has, because I think everybody on that team, they have playoff experience. They're good to go. They know
all of them are there. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's too old. Like we I hate the league. The league is literally Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and I hate it. Does he make dumb moves sometimes? Yeah, man. But when he's on the court, he's very effective. I don't care what you say. That man has so much heart. But I'm gonna say Nuggets is 6.
I like it.
Nuggets is 6. I don't even give it a 7-game series. I don't see it going 7 games with this team.
The thing that concerns me that you brought up was the coaching situation. I do like continuity. So that causes me to pause a little bit, like, maybe I should go with the Clippers because they got consistency there. But I'm gonna give it to who I think should be the MVP. Well, I'm gonna give it to Jokic. I'm gonna let Jokic take this to 7, and we'll call it a day. All right. And then and just real quick with OKC, should they be worried about who they draw? Like, should they be worried about Memphis? Should they be worried about Dallas or the Kings?
No, they'll be okay with the first win in that, but afterwards start getting for the real.
Start getting a little freaky. All right, and then real quick with the East,
more creative is John Morant because he might show up to the stadium with a gun. That's the only thing.
It ain't gonna be a gun no more. It's gonna be a grenade. All right. East. Orlando did all that stuff to go draw Boston. So I feel like they should have lost on purpose to play Cleveland. Because to me, Orlando could actually beat Cleveland in the playoff series, personally. But here we are. Boston, Orlando. To me, Boston's experience alone is the X factor. Like, it's been there, done that. It's like literally think about it. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it feels like they've been to the conference finals every year since they were drafted. Like since LeBron was in Cleveland. Do you know LeBron was in Cleveland 7 years ago? You know how long ago that was? I've seen LeBron in LA more than I've seen him in Miami. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and now KP and Drew and Al Horford is still there. They got continuity. Derek White is an Olympian. Like, to me, the X factor is like, yo, we've been here, done that. Orlando, they got size. Paolo and Franz are 6'10", and they'll make the game ugly. But I think the only way the Magic can win this series is that Paolo and Franz got to average like 80 points a game. Collectively, between those two, they got to drop 40 apiece. Am I wrong, or do you think this is a quick, sweet type of series, or what?
I think it's more of a gentleman's sweep because Boston, they get cute sometimes and they give those 1 games.
They always do.
And Jason Tatum gives you that cookie cutter fucking. Well, we didn't have it on, and Kobe, he taught me a lot during the season, and like
we did it.
I'm the X factor for the Magic is the entire team. This is a learning experience. You got into the playoffs with this team, and it's a good core. It's a good core missing 1 vet. You got a good vet in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I think he could be the X factor, but I think for the whole team, I think it's them. because you're going up against the former NBA champions or the current NBA champions. So
Yeah.
you're going up against them, and it's a good learning curve. If you come out on top, hell, you defied all. For the Celtics, I don't know who I would give it to. I guess maybe Peyton Pritchard or Porzingis to see if he can be healthy this entire time.
I think Porzingis might like you had him in New York. When you really think about it, who can actually guard Porzingis? Like he can literally do whatever he wants. He's like think about Durant. When you're 7 foot plus and you can just shoot over everybody wherever you want, what can you actually do with that? Like it's really not much. Like it really is going to come down to Porzingis to me is like he's the key to all of this because Jaylen Brown might be a little banged up when the playoffs start. So to me, I think Porzingis and obviously Drew Holiday, what he brings to a team, won a championship for Milwaukee, won a championship for Boston last year. I feel like Drew Holiday he could have been Finals MVP last year. So,
Derek White too. Do we get a second coming of what we got to see last year too? I mean, but I say it's a gentleman's sweep here, 5.
Yeah, I got a Boston to 5 as well. I think Orlando will take one at home. All right, Knicks fans, talk to me, dog. All right? Just real quick. Do you have a little bit of fear for Detroit Pistons?
No, I don't. I'm proud of them, but I think us not.
You just wanted to vote for them for every award, by the way.
I'm proud
of a little bit.
I'm no, I'm not. There's no experience there, and if you want to pay the experience of Tobias Harris, like no, absolutely not. I'm proud of them. If they beat us, they beat us. Hey man, like we shoot ourselves in the foot all the time. But I think we got the right pieces. I just think players towards the end of the season kept getting hurt at the wrong times. We couldn't have the whole roster out there. The X factors for me in this are for the Pistons is going to be Cade Cunningham. I want to see what you can do. I think your superstar greatness is coming. Let's see what you can do against my team. And for the Knicks, I'm going to keep saying it, beating the drum repeatedly. Tibbs has to be Tibbs and how you manage this lineup because I think he does a very, very, very bad job of running players' knees into the ground to the point that a guy that starts every single game for you has to say something about it. To the point that you get into a verbal altercation with Josh Hart on the sidelines. I think at some point in his career of doing this, he's got to stop and be like, I need to give these guys some rest. And I need to start getting a better.
Wait for all that now.
Oh no, I know that. I'm saying more it's the X factor now that he can pick these motions now, and not go. Of course, he can't go get a bench, but see that you got guys in like Miles McBride, Landry Shamet, the rat-looking dude that shoots like this. They've been to the playoffs. They've been to the finals. These guys, they're well competent players that can go out there and do stuff for you. Give these guys some rest that are out there. Like Josh Hart averaging a triple-double is wild to me. Wild to me that a guy 6'5" can get you 10 rebounds a game. I think that's insane to me.
Sure, Russ 6'3".
It's true, but I just we'll see what happens from it. But I think those are my X factors. Give me the Lakers. Give me the Knicks and give me Knicks in 6.
All right. I got Knicks in a hard-fought 6. Like, it's going to get bloody because Isaiah Stewart's swinging on somebody. There's going to be a scrap. Not necessarily a fight, but there's going to be like a contentious few moments because there's already been that. You saw like the last couple games of the year, like they at each other's throat. Like, they really want this shit. And, I think Tobias Harris is making $25 million a year. He got to show up and look. Think about it. With the Sixers, we just played y'all last year, right? They just played y'all last year, right? Tobias Harris should know something about the Knicks. Like, all right, I know a little something about what they're gonna do. To me, he's got to be important for them because they brought him in to be that veteran presence for a reason, right? And to me, Josh Hart is the heartbeat of this team. Jalen Brunson's the best player. Karl Anthony Towns is the. Nick Young does such a good job impersonating. He does such a good job impersonating Karl Anthony Towns. Oh my God! Like, I thought it was a tour.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God. Okay, but Cat gonna be Cat. Jalen Brunson gonna be Jalen Brunson. But to me, Josh Hart is the energy plug. Also, OG Anunoby. Y'all just need
put that Olympian.
Y'all need Suni Lee and Anne Hathaway coincide every game. Pay for the tickets. What's your your president name?
Leon Rose.
The owner. I mean
James Dolan.
If I'm James Dolan, we got it. Spike Lee, Tracy Morgan, get him a throw up bucket, and then we got Suni Lee and Anne Hathaway.
F up out of there. Get Tracy Morgan the F up out of there.
And make sure that
Spike Lee, get him out of there. Tracy Morgan, get better. Stop throwing up on the sidelines, man.
Get Suni Lee and Anne Hathaway permanent seats there. And y'all, OG Anunoby gonna average 25. Y'all good.
You look like LeBron in 08, bro. You look like LeBron in 08.
I got, but if the Pistons could go bad boy Piston on y'all and make it hard, they'll extend this series. But I still think overall, just the talent, Jalen Brunson gonna average 35 points a game. That's just how I see it. So give me the Pistons. I mean the Knicks in 6. I think another really quick, the next big series, Pacers and Bucks. I think remember 2018 Bron. I think Giannis is about to go 2018. Giannis
so.
on y'all.
I'm hope so, man.
I think
no Dame in the first. I don't like that. I feel bad for Dame, man. Like I don't know why I feel so bad for him. Just maybe because he's one of my favorite players and all the shit that's going on with him, like personally, mentally, change of scenery. I know he's an athlete and he makes a lot of money, but I think Dame is just like you know how people say Zach LaVine is a player, like a basketball player. Like I feel like Dame is just like a down to earth dude. You can't hate him. I just feel bad for him.
Unless you're Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy will fucking hate it. If he was on the Celtics, he'd be like, oh yeah, we got the best. Whatever, I don't want to hear that shit. It is what it is. But
I think X Factor Kyle Kuzma, he has NBA Finals experience. He knows what it feels like to play with a superstar. LeBron James. Like he was there in 2020. He played decently during that run. He knew how to take a back seat, but I feel like he's been able to, like, I think him, Bobby Portis, I feel like they still have enough. But if Giannis, because go look at Giannis' numbers over the last month. You think Jokic putting up numbers? Go look at Giannis' numbers. Giannis is on some shit. I smell 2018 LeBron right now. I think he's going to go on a crazy run. I don't know if it's going to lead to the finals, but I won't be shocked. I think, you remember that series, that 2018, that first round was the Lakers versus the Pacers. And it was a crazy 7 games. And LeBron got him up out of there. I think Giannis, he'll go 7. I got Giannis in an epic 7-game series. Like, I got the Bucks in 7. I think the only thing for the Pacers to kind of look forward to from an X Factor standpoint, Aaron Nesmith and Benedict Mathurin, they averaged against the Bucks this year. They averaged 37 points between the two of them. They got to play well. But Tyrese Halliburton, he be showing up or not showing up. If he shows up, because
he be fucking them white women too much, bro.
If he scores 25 and 12 every night, I think that could help, but to me, Giannis, bro. I'm going Giannis.
Get Benedict next year. Get him the fuck up out of there, man. That guy's good.
Yeah, they don't appreciate him enough.
They don't, bro. Like,
he can get it back somewhere.
That's the thing that bothers me is like you get a guy, he comes in the league, and he averages his rookie year as like a back at the end pick, like 15 points a game. Why aren't you paying attention to this? Even if he's a bucket at that point.
All he does is a bucket. He don't do nothing else. Like, I'm just trying to get some points.
Paul George didn't play no defense. He's just a bucket too, man.
Whoa. Paul George got his chops because he played great defense. Remember, Danny Granger was the guy. That was Danny Granger's team.
I guess I've seen too many Paul George lately, and he's trash.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Trust me. I get it. Podcast P, way off P.
I'm going X Factor is definitely going to be Giannis. I got that feeling too that he's going to like roll the clock back and do some shit that we're like that finals run that he had where he was just bulldozing through players. I think we're going to get that. And then for the Pacers, what can Rick cook up? You know, that man definitely makes wherever he goes, I feel like he's underappreciated as a head coach. And to knock out the Knicks and go to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple of years ago, like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wasn't it last year, right? It was last year.
Last year.
Yeah. So I think Rick Carlisle is mine. I wanted to give it to Mr. White Girl himself, but he's hot and cold to me all the time.
Yeah.
He's too easy to pick what Halliburton is going to do. And then what's the African dude's name? Why am I drawing a blank?
Pascal.
Yeah. See, that guy, like another guy that we feel like we underappreciate all the time, but just shows up, does his job, and
I mean they did vote him for the All-Star this year, so they see it. They see it. It's just Indiana's just like okay.
Yeah, it's vanilla yogurt, but he does his job, man. Like
he really does.
He's gonna be okay. They've got so much good young talent there. It's just I don't think it all meshes well together. I feel like Naismith wants to leapfrog somebody. If I'm Benedict, I'm pissed too. You know that you got Siakam here, and I had a pure opening to do all this. Yeah, but Rick Carlisle's my guy. Give me Giannis. I think it could go 7, 6 or 7. I'm gonna go 7 though with you. I agree with that as well.
Yeah, and I think Indiana, one thing they do really well, they win at home. Like they play really well at home, and they're not scared of the Bucks. The last 2 years, like this has been a rivalry. Like this has actually been a fun rivalry between those two. So I think we'll have a good series. But Game 7, Giannis about to go crazy. So all right, and then last but not least, and we're gonna table the NFL to next week. The draft is next week. We'll record just in time before the draft. We got to do something for the draft next week probably. But real quick with Cleveland in the NBA, to me they're lucky to avoid the Magic. Now you know what Trae Young is capable of. You know what Miami is capable of as well. So we're going to see that play in between those two. Who should the Cleveland Cavaliers want to see in that first round between Trae Young and Atlanta, or Bam and Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat?
Don't matter. They're both trash.
You don't think Miami? Because we still got Eric Spoelstra.
I would say you want to see Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta's depleted. If they are to get by Miami, it's an out-of-body experience from Trae Young to get him there before he crashes out some other way.
Crash out Trae, my dog.
I think you said Spoelstra, so that kind of brought me back to thinking Spoelstra is a good head coach. He can put something together. I know we dog Andrew Wiggins, but I mean he's got a ring. None of those guys on Cleveland have a ring except for what's the guy, the white boy that be shooting threes that was on Cleveland. Oh no, he doesn't even have a ring. He's on Cleveland now. I'm getting him confused. He was with Miami, but he has experience. Strus.
Max Strus, yeah.
But I think Spoelstra would be the biggest threat. So yeah, Trae Young getting there, like mop him up, no pun intended.
You know what? It's crazy. Miami screwed up with Jimmy Butler so badly, bro. If they were in this position right now with Jimmy Butler and they had to play Cleveland in the first round, who do you think I'll be picking to win that first round?
Sure.
Think about it. Pat O'Reilly got to wake up in the morning and see what Jimmy did for Golden State last night and like, damn it, I screwed up. He is worth every penny because when he says, I take the year off, but you know what I'm going to do in the playoffs, And what he did to Zach Edey last night, I'm like, if I'm Pat Riley, I looked at that news. I don't know if they read newspapers anymore, but he old school. Like he looked at that newspaper clip, he's like, damn it, damn it. All right, but yeah, we're gonna go crazy with the NFL next week. I think we might just do a full NFL show next week because the draft is here. We're gonna talk Mike Pless. We're looking for you. I know you watch film. We're looking for you.
Let's put together our final draft day, boys, because after like the last few days and hearing all the shit going on now, it's been wild.
There's a lot. You know, Shador, we don't know. He's been visiting with the Giants. We know there's a lot. Aaron Rodgers, we don't know what's going to happen with him. So
the Giants are open to trading that 3 pick now, man.
Shit. They're stupid enough to do that. Shit, go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
God, like I today, me and Tab, we were at Cooper's Hawk for happy hour, and they had the Eagles up there, and they were showing like how many times they've traded first round picks to get players. I'm like, trusting Howie, man. This guy's got.
I still trust my dog Howie. And shout out to Jalen Hurts, Time Magazine, one of the most influential players of the year this year. Just want to say, Jalen Hurts, I love you, dog, bro. You know what you mean to me. You know, you my dog, brother. You my dog, brother. But no, we got a lot to get to with the NFL, so I don't want to rush it. I want to really, take the time and really kind of go through it. So we'll see. There hasn't been any crazy trades that's happened yet. We don't know who's moving up, moving down yet. So we'll kind of let this next week play out. We'll record next week, and then we'll go watch the draft somewhere, and we're going to have a ball. So I'm excited. But the playoffs are here. The draft is coming up. The WNBA draft is happening. In case you care, Paige Bucker, shout out to her. The Lightning about to play the Panthers. We got the rivalry going down there, so we got a lot of good stuff going on. But yeah, what you gotta let your naysayers know right now?
Just be kind to people. That's all I gotta say. Just be kind and take the initiative sometimes to think about how other people feel and put yourself in other people's shoes, because you don't know what's going on. They could be having a bad day and kind of, it's not my religion. It is kind of, but not. But most people are Christian that probably listen to this and friends, whatever. But be Christ-like, turn the other cheek, I guess I could say. Things like that. Is, just be nice to people. I say that over and over again, I feel like.
For sure. And in the words of my dog, Geno Smith, they might try to write you off. Just don't write back. They try to write me.
That's actually good.
They try to write me off, but I ain't right back. So I'm just saying that's the theme for life. They try to write you off, bro. Just put that bitch in the shredder. Let's keep it moving, dog. Don't write back. And in the words of John Morant, if it get a little crazy, we ain't eating the words and throwing the bomb. Show me a gun, dog. But that's all I got. Fair Weather Podcast. Adios.
Want me to rattle off, bro? Rattle off.
You know what? Where can you find us at?
You can find us on Twitter _fair_weather_pod. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok still. Search the Fair Weather Podcast wherever you subscribe or listen to podcast audio. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. You will find us there. Take it away, sir.
I said what I gotta say.
Your Phil Jackson Zen moment.
Hey, I got it. Fire Nico. Diddy got a Rico. Tampico. Lakers 5. Peace.